It was about the third week into Kathy's weight loss battle where things really started to go downhill. She was eating salads 4 or 5 times a day. She was running on the treadmill 45 minutes a day and even walking her dogs on long walks on the weekend.
Nice little ad placement there. Hey, everyone. Hopefully everyone is doing well. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Okay, cool. All right. Welcome, welcome, everyone. Hopefully you've had a great day of trading so far, and you're having fun with all this volatility that we've got going on. Big thing to keep in mind today is, obviously, it's Friday, right? It's Friday, but it's more than just Friday. It's Friday with next week being elections, which is a big deal. This weekend is Halloween, and half the country's still shut down or open or not, or who knows anymore. So the big thing really going into this weekend is that there's a lot of uncertainty. A lot of traders aren't quite sure what's going to happen next week with the elections or really anything else. So the big thing that we're really kind of keeping an eye on is what's the overall market structure. From the bigger picture, we can see that, right, man, that bull bar, they gave everything back right at that bull bar's end of it. We had that nice jump to the upside, huge blow-off candle, and it looked like at the end of the day that bull bar was huge. And then the last like 20 minutes or so, it's just gone all the way back down again. So they ended up closing really weak, and today's a breakdown day, pushing below the wedge, pushing deeper into that buy zone support. It's one of those areas of definitive interest that we want to keep our eyes on. But, man, the market's obviously pushing down. So sellers are kind of the dominant ones at the moment. See if we can get a little bit more from one side or the other. Starting to get pretty chopped up going into the end of the day. Nope, forgot my clock. There we go. So we'll see what the market has for us. Got a little bit of time yet. Little bit of choppy, sloppy price action so far, mostly sideways, as we can very obviously see. But there are a few things to keep in mind. There was a potential wedge that was trying to break, that broke out higher and then failed back down. And we're holding the inside of that wedge pretty nicely. The next big thing that we've got to see is, can they break through the lows of the wedge, which is what we're challenging right now. So this kind of zone is going to be the big zone of interest. What are they able to do? They failed through the top. Chances are they're going to fail through the bottom. Sorry, failed to break out of the top. Now is their chance to take it lower and break through the bottom. Sorry, not fail. Bears still trying to get a little bit more to the downside. All right. Buyers trying to get a little bit of a pop back up, but like we just talked about, this is kind of a failure zone, so I'm kind of looking at this like a potential for sellers to take back over. Only problem is it's super, super low. It's way low down here. Found a pretty good chunk of resistance there off the bottom side of that. I like that for a possible short to see if we can get a little bit more continuation down. Again, the problem is it's very far down. So as far as entry positioning goes, you've got to be careful down here. If it's going to go, I'd like it to go sooner than later, and a strong bull response isn't necessarily the best thing in the world. We're back up to the resistance at the highs, though. I didn't get filled on that last one. See if we can get a flush back down again. I've got an add at above 65, so if we can get a push back down to like the 55s, I wouldn't necessarily mind dropping the 2. I'm going to drop 1 there just to play it safe. Nice bear bar, though. I will add on that. I know it seems kind of strange to add after I just exited one, but it's all about the average. I'm trying to get my average in the right place. Right now, initially my average was really, really far down. Now that the market pulled back a little bit further, I have a chance to try to get my average in a bit more favorable of a place. First target's down here for sure. All right, see if we can get the breakdown move through the lows. Breakdown, breakdown. 200 ticks left. It's not really seeing it. I'm out. I'm out. I don't like that. They had the chance to try to get the breakout, but it didn't really get going. Just a giant wick on the lows. Another nice bear bar. Might try to find sellers coming back in, though. A bear bar so soon after a big rejection off the lows. It's got to be a nice one, though. That's okay. See if we can get a push below that bear bar, though. That's the big part. I like this area for shorts. Just got to see him trigger. I'm going to add a stop market underneath that bear bar as well. All right, they weren't able to do it. I'm going to take the loss on that one. I only took it with 1 contract, but I wanted to see them trigger under the bear bar. I was trying to get in a little bit early, and didn't work out. Another trap on the lows, and the bears failed to actually trigger in, which is a huge amount of information. Bears didn't trigger that one either. Nobody took the bait the second time. Yeah, okay. Good try. This is why you get out when you're wrong. Do you imagine still being short in this? Yikes. Market will still probably roll back over, but I don't want to sit through all this crap. The first pullback is likely shorts who are stuck, which means that buyers, although this is an excruciatingly bearish day, buyers may try to come in on that first pullback. More likely sellers taking profit on the dip, but regardless. This is a really strong rally up, and we'll probably at least try to find some continuation. The big part is whether or not it succeeds. Still seeing a little bit of a pullback, but buyers are trying to take it pretty aggressively. They're not letting it pull back very far. I'm going to look for a long on this for a quick breakout above the 8750s, preferably. Nice little pop there. I'll take it there. Good enough. Nice jump into the quick little target. Just to scalp. I'm not looking for a ton on this because, again, the market's down 3%. I'm not about to hang on to longs, right? I'll take them. That's fine. But I'm not going to... No, I'm not, I'm not going to sit around if they're not moving. A little bit of a double top on the highs there, finding some potential weakness. Sellers trying to roll the market back over. A strong bear bar here would be a potential invalidation of the buyers. See if they can continue down and muster a little bit lower. Nice bear bar down. It's got to continue, though. All right, I'm out. That's not the continuation I'm looking for. I'll give it a little more time. That's fine. The bulls are obviously not done yet, so I'll step aside and let them do their thing. Still haven't really broken a new high. Ooh, a big bear bar off the top. That would be a huge problem. Okay, the bulls took it back. I was going to say, they're not going to like that one. Still seeing a little bit more continuation to the upside. Giant bull bar. This bull bar has got some serious meat to it. This is either, A, the start of a huge bull run to the upside, or this is a final stand from the buyers and they get railroaded. Getting towards the end of the day, I mean, they might be looking for an end-of-day reversal back up. We're still in that major buy zone on the daily. Market's still just kind of, ugh. There's not a whole lot of anything going on. For the sellers, that is. There's obviously something going on, but for the sellers. See if the bulls can carry this on through. Again, another really good example of get out when you know you're wrong. It's not worth the risk. It's easy to look at these types of situations and say, hey, market's down 3%. I'm just going to hold it. Let me know how that goes when your account balance is 0. It never fails. The one trade you try to hold on to and make work and force to work is the one that's going to it's going to put you in the pressure cooker. That's what the sellers are in right now. Sellers know it's a bearish day. The market's down 3%. But taking just the 500 tick chart doesn't look super bearish, does it? Sellers failing again. I would like to see if I can get a halfway decent pullback. We're back above 11,000, which is a gigantic psychological level. And realistically, I don't really know if I want to play around with 11,000 too much. But a nice little washout, if it can get pretty big here, would be a nice potential long. This isn't big enough, though. That's just a strong bear bar and a bear trend. I don't want to buy that. Seller's first time breaking down to a new low. So far, it got bought back up. Here, let's get some more upbeat music going on here. Guys. All right. Still holding this larger zone. Sellers trying to get that secondary push to the downside. We've finally pierced down to a new swing low, and right now bar 69 is, yikes, big bull bar, but not really seeing any follow through. If they fail on bar 70, then we could be looking for a nice little push lower. Sellers are definitely trying. It's just really high to want to try to force a short up here after we've seen this much strength. I think sellers are still in the squeezer. Well, sellers who sold the bottom, let's say. Sellers on the day are obviously not in in the squeezer. They're just sitting happily on top of a big stack of cash. Very nice bull sequence to the upside, trying to get a break above the highs. And now they're following through with that last bull bar, too. See if we can get a dip below that previous bull bar for longs to try to get the breakout attempt. Again, it's a long and a down market, so you've got to play it a little bit safe. But I like this because the sellers are still stuck from the lows. And they're getting squeezed hard. Strong bear bar. And I am still watching the 5-minute chart, too. I really want to see that 5-minute bar close bullish above bar 69's high, which it kind of sort of did. We've got a lower high now. Didn't get the fill on the bid. See if we can get a push back up above the highs. There's that big run. Get the push. They got to get above that bull bar. If they can get above that bull bar, it probably goes through the top. Bingo bango. There you go. Nice pop. Just took a second. Seller's zone of interest is starting to become invalidated. Which means that they're just probably going to go for a higher up one. Really heavy bear bar off the top. The last attempt down from the sellers was a trap. So far, we just haven't seen them take over yet. Bull's still trying to get that continuation. Staying pinned right on the top. Sellers trying to push down again. We've got another new swing low. The last time that happened, it was a massive trap. Careful, though. The market's making weaker and weaker highs, right? Look at the overall structure of this move. It was super aggressive back here. Then it was a little bit like yellow light, yellow light. Now we're starting to see some red lights here. The brakes are pumping. See if they can break above the highs. Another lower high would be a potential problem, though. See if they can break underneath this bear bar. I'm going to look for a short below that. Initial position, more of a... I mean, realistically, if it doesn't go down after this bull bar, the trade's just wrong. But this has the potential of being a huge top that could roll over all the way back down to the lows. So the risk-reward is hard to ignore here. But it's got to stay solid. I'm willing to give it a little bit of wiggle room. That's fine. But if we can get a flush back down through... I would really, I mean, realistically, I'd like to see it try to challenge back down to the 90s, which I don't think is going to be that hard. The low of bar 70 is going to be the tough one. There we go. Nice little push down through 97. Target out. Might be able to hold on to sells for a little bit longer now that things are starting to switch gears a bit, but we still haven't made really much of a lower low. It's been one tick. Need a little bit more. Yeah, this could easily just be a small pullback on the 5-minute. So, I mean, there's still a lot of stuff saying careful. Right? I mean, I want to go short, and I want to short this thing to the floor, but... realism sets in and says, well, bulls are pretty strong over the past 10, 15 minutes. I'll take some pieces parts on shorts here and there, but that bull bar 69 followed up with bar 70, that's strong. I mean, that's a really good attempt at trying to put in a bottom. So if we can see these buyers get stepped on, then we'll likely see it slip right back down through the lows. Big level, obviously, is 11,000. Oh, what a horrible bull bar on the 5-minute. Double wick on the top on the 5-minute, 70 and 71. If they close a strong bar here on the 5-minute, up or down, that would be a potential signal to go in that direction. Usually when you have that break pumping, especially on the I would much rather see a strong bear bar. But given the way that this is going right now, it's tough. You know, it looks like man versus train, these ads. Looking at a continuation to the downside with larger objectives, potentially back down to 969, back down to 950, maybe even further. But if the buyers start getting invalidated, that's where we start slipping through the lows. That's where we start seeing moves down to 10,920. We're starting to see that invalidation. This falling resistance is still holding the market down. There we go. If we can get a shallow pop up to 87.50 or higher, 91.50 would be even better. That's kind of the zone of interest. And they came one tick away from my entry and didn't trigger. Oh, just kidding. Golly gee willikers. Downside objectives currently at around the 80s. Realistically, I think it could potentially go maybe even further. The buyers are getting heavily invalidated right now. The only problem, obviously, is that it's very high, or very low down, rather, in this move. Downside objectives, now that it's pulled up a little bit further, I'd like to see it get below, like, at least the 87.50s. I'd like to see 85s. I'm going to reduce just a little bit. These candles kind of suck. All right. First target off. We got that slide down. So basically break even on the trade now. There we go. Oh, break the low. Break the low. Don't stop here. Break the low. No, 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 no. I'm out. If they can break the lows, we're probably going to step up with a big move. The heck? I must have fat-fingered my order entry. Sorry, the ad's playing in the background. I have YouTube Premium. Why is it playing ads? Oh, different account. Gotcha. Whoops. All right, Bears trying to get a little bit more continuation to the downside. I really love this 5-minute bar on the oh man, a big bear. They still have a minute left, but a big bear bar down like that is huge. That's a monstrous reversal, totally invalidating the bulls here. But it's got to stay down. That's the thing. It's got a minute left. More wicks going up on the top. Nice bull bar. $16, 15 seconds left for this 5-minute bar. Watch this thing. A strong, heavy bear bar is, I mean, if it triggers underneath that, yikes. And it's a bear bar that closed on its bottom. All right, well, I will initiate a short below that bear bar, but I want to see what this next bull bar and what the response of this is, because I obviously don't want to be net short this far down. Up here, I'm less upset about. Downside objectives. I mean, realistically, with the bulls getting invalidated so aggressively, it wouldn't be a surprise to see this fail back down to the 45s, 945, something like that. If the Bears can stick the landing underneath bar 72, the bottom of this could potentially drop out. Oh, man, one tick away from the low. Get 'em, Bears. Buyers know if they hit that low, they're done. They're trying so hard, like, please, no. There's the one. Nice breakdown. I don't want to see this climb too far back up, but that bear bar 72, honestly, I really want to try to hold on and see if we can get this thing going. I just wish the average was at a better price. Downside objectives next are going to be towards the 60s. Yeah, right around there. Perfect. Moving the stop down a little bit to see if we can hang into this one. Nope. All right, I'm out. Beautiful move down, though. Wow. What a dump. Great slide. Next objective, now that we've gotten to the 60s, if it wants to keep going, is going to be back down towards like the 50s. Another 10 points or so. Sellers still pushing. It's real low. Another low side breakout. Just need to see a little bit more gumption from the sellers here. Give a good bear bar or something. Yeah, there you go. See if you can get a little bit of a retrace back up towards like the 70s would be nice. It might not necessarily go that far, but a little jump above the 65s is like a washout. Would be a nice little potential short, like that. Nice little push. See if they can flush back down through the lows. Downside objective is going to be like 58.75s. Now the target's going to be a little bit lower, 62.50 first. A little bit lower again, 64.25 or so. After that, 61.75, then 59-ish. Nice push through the lows. See if they can keep it going. Nice drive down. Target filled there. Keep on going. Keep on going. Oh, tested the target. No fill. There we go. All right. Out. Nice push. Gorgeous. Shallow. It's shallow. That's all it's giving us. We're not really getting much meat on the pullback, and when it does, it goes way too far. Sellers are still going, man. Are we gonna hit like 5% before the end of the day here? Jeez. Next week's gonna be wild. I'm super excited and marginally terrified of next week. Market's still just chugging lower. Continuing to break down. Wow. Just keeps on collapsing. Back down to the lows. So this is the 50s. These are your targets if you're still short. I had to grab a coat. I'm freezing. Give me 1 second. May follow through underneath that, but I don't like that as much. I wanted that pop up. to be just a little bit bigger. I know it's nitpicky, but that bull bar, I mean, it's not much bigger than the other ones. Some of the best washouts are the ones that just are way too big to fit in. It doesn't make sense there. Those are my favorite. And that's likely why there was such a weak response. Just wasn't that good of a washout. Nice continuation bull drive to the upside. Any sellers who are still short are potentially stuck. Bar 74, very strong. Ooh. Sellers are starting to get ran over here a bit. This is either a break even for earlier buyers who are stuck, and we see this rotate all the way back down, or the buyers hold this, and it could potentially go back up to 11,000. We still got 20 minutes left. A lot can happen in 20 minutes lately. If the buyers are going to try to hold it, they're going to try to likely do it around the 60s, but there's just nothing there. They just got steamrolled. This is a big move to the upside, so I'm not going to be the first one to the party trying to short it, but... Bulls trying to get something going here. This is either, again, either the bears just got ran over and we're going to go back up, which it looks like that bull bar is. I'm going to buy into the long here. It's doubtable that any buyers who are, or shorts who are still in this are going to let this slide back with that big of a bull bar up without taking something off the table. I'm going to reduce one, see if we can get a pop back above the 75s. There we go. Beautiful breakup. Nice. Wasn't so sure there for a minute. I picked up two, and I dropped that first one pretty quick. It just wasn't getting the job done. Again, it's going long in a market that's down 3.25%. I'm not going to hang out very long. Nice jump to the upside. Kind of a two-legged move higher as well. It's got to go a little bit further up to the 90s, but it's right around there. A washout underneath the 80s might get bought up. Again, I think shorts are getting squeezed at the end of the day here. Just be careful trying to go long in a market like this. Too strong of a bear bar for me to want to buy. I don't like buying candles that look like that. Just need a bit more. All right, now the sellers had really good follow through, and now they're getting ran over. We have a bull engulfing candle, but this candle is not complete yet. That's a really good bull bar. I'm going to try to buy into that pullback here. Sorry, I forgot ads. There we go. I'm going to jump ship on that one. That didn't move as much as I wanted it to, and that follow-through is real bad. I wanted that bull bar for a strong like that, but I wanted to see this candle a candle earlier. Again, I'm going long in a market that's down 3%. I'm not going to stay in these very long. But it's obvious that shorts are getting squeezed, so I'll play ball for a little bit. That's fine. when these buyers start getting out of the way, though, if they get out of the way. Putting in a very obvious bottom down here. Another giant trap on bar 74 back up. See if they can keep on trucking. We got 15 minutes until we hit 4 o'clock. Very nice jump to the upside. Hindsight 2020, I should have stuck into the long, but again, I have a really hard time staying patient when I'm going against the trend. Big pop to the upside, huge drive. Buyers are ripping the Band-Aid off right now. So it's probably shorts taking profit, realistically. Shorts were initially looking for continuation. I mean, you can see we were shorting the whole way down. But once it started reversing, this move up is way too strong. That doesn't fit, right? One of these things is not like the others. This is too strong. I don't want to be the first one. You can see the flip gears. We're buying now. Buying. I'm not hanging on for very long, but the context is beginning to try to shift. Beginning to try, okay? Market's still down 3%. Don't lose sight of that. Getting a little bit of a pullback here. So far, for the most part, if we look at this from a channel structure point of view, it's very clean. But now we're starting to get some... That channel's not even close to parallel. Let's try that again. They overshot the highs of the channel. And typically, when the market overshoots the high of a channel like that, you're going to see them overshoot the lows. It's kind of like an equalization. They did too much on the highs, so they have to kind of take a break and do that same amount on the lows. If they start breaking through that barrier, then we run into a situation of, okay, well, now we've got some issues. They're doing what they haven't done before. That distance is about this big. So from their breakout point, you really don't want to see them getting much lower than this, and they are. Keep in mind time of day and knowing that the sellers just got squeezed. This could be a break even. A strong bull bar down here might be a very strong long opportunity. And the nice thing is it's low risk, because if it fails, you don't have to hang out very long. Plus, if it fails, it's like reverse and, and go the other way. I don't want to... I still consider a long, but... small sizing. And it's got to be a good bull bar. That's not it. That's a terrible bull bar. I got to see the sellers push back down again because we're right around that previous major swing. This major swing is a gigantic zone of support resistance. Got to see them get through it. We had a really nice fall off the high, but this could just be a break-even run for stuck shorts. Got to get under 75 and stay under. These candles down here, these are terrible. Come on, get some legs, sellers. Nice breakout continuation move. I'll short into this, looking for a bit more continuation. It's low, so I'm not looking for a huge move. That's good enough. Quick 10, 15 ticks, whatever, just to scalp. Once we give a little bit more meat on the bone, then I'll take that. That will be obviously the preference, but... Another nice bear bar down might find sellers continuing to pressure. I'm going to short ahead of this bear bar closing, looking for a continuation underneath it. See if they can hit them. And it's a weak bull bar, so it's not exactly concerning, but I am probably going to have to work on my average a bit. Didn't get filled on the ask with that pop. Super weak bull bar. Yikes. Didn't get filled on the ask again. Man. There we go. getting a breakout pullback back to that previous zone. I'll look to sell into this pop as well with the assumption that it'll try to back off a little bit. But now the bulls are coming in pretty strong, so I'm going to adjust my position. See if I can get a nice little flush. I'm going to piece out of this one. I don't like that. Of course. 10 minutes to go. Here comes the volatility. Looking for a short back down again. This is that last batch of massive orders that start hitting the market. Out for a quick scalp. Get ready to hit the gas pedals. Things are going to start going fast. We got that final 10. And it's the final 10 ahead of a gigantic weekend. See if the bulls can kick it back up, and a failure from the bulls will be looking for another possible short. Another possible short gearing up. Nope, never mind. I'm going to jump out of that one. That's a strong bull response. End of the day squeeze. Could be looking for a nice squeeze here. This is either a trap for longs, where they get ran over, or this is the start of a potentially huge move. 90s is going to be the first targets. Ooh, nice little pop there. Didn't get filled on the ask. Break through the top. There we go. Next target off. Lots of weakness up here. I'm not liking a strong bear bar, but I'll wait to see the follow through. If sellers start coming in too hard, though, I'm going to hit the exits. All right, I'm out. Fine. I got low ticked. You rotten pecker. All right. NASDAQ. That was definitely a dip trap. Looking for a continuation play to see if they can pop above the 95s. It might just be a double trap play at the end of the day, trying to get long suckered in at the top. So I'm not going to hang out very long. I'm out. I don't like that. I wanted that to be a trap play where they suckered everyone out on the lows and then rip the Band-Aid up and go flying through 11,000, but it didn't get going. It's not worth the risk anymore. You can see everybody jump ship. Nobody wanted it. That's a big bear bar. I'll sell into that. See if we can get a trigger underneath it. It did trigger underneath it, so algos are definitely short on this. Nice bear bar continuation. Ooh, very nice. Out. Nice. Quick little pop again. Nice jerk to the downside. Here comes that volatility. Give me a pop, a washout back up to the 80s. Could be a possible scalping zone again for short. Shorts are trying to take back over. We're at the low of that previous big giant bull bar, so this is a tough spot around these 75s. Got to be careful. Get a jump above that. Ooh, okay. Get a jump above the previous bear bar, something like that. Maybe not right now. Still got plenty of ticks left. Okay, weak bull bar. Bar 76, really, really strong. What a garbage bull response. See if they can pop above the 70s. Shorting above the 70s for a quick push back down again. They came back to break even and bounced it. I'm going to reduce risk just a little bit on that. I'm not willing to hang out on this if it's not going to get going. Because remember what time it is, right? End of day. This is when things get nasty, nasty. Oh. Big push back to the upside. That was a definitive break even. I'm out on that. No thanks. Switching gears to the longs for a long side breakout. I don't think sellers are going to hang out at all on that move. Nice quick little snap back up to the highs. Would like to see a false break low. This is, now that we have a little bit more context, a higher low into a break even for a lot of sellers who got stuck at the bottom. We weren't sure where that was going to be, but I think we got a pretty clear sign now. Give me a flush back below like 95. Give me some type of pullback. There you go. Yeah, like that. Big move back down, though, so we got to play it a little bit safe. Again, 5 minutes until the end. I'm going to jump ship on that one, too. If they go bull engulfing and trigger above that bull engulfing, then we've got some legs again. There we go. Getting a trigger back above. Look for a jump back up towards the 95s. First target's there. Next targets are going to be through the highs back towards that 11K. Very strong lift to the upside. Great context for continuation. Beautiful context for continuation. Nice bull bar. Buyers trying to buy underneath the previous bull bar, looking for a continuation pop. Nice little pullback for buyers to grab more. I'm going to bail on that one. That bounced really weird inside there. There's some funky orders going on. We have 4 minutes until the open, and we've got some weird orders. Watch this volatility. Strong bull bar back up. If they close strong, then it's game time. It's starting to become game time already. All right, buying the bid on this dip. I'm looking for a quick pop back to the upside. I love this pullback. Gonna move back towards the 11,000s. See if they can get that break above 11,000. They're poking it, but they're having a hard time. Big push, come on, 11,000 right there. They're playing with it. Taking a few targets off here, but I want to see them follow through. That's a terrible candle. No thanks. I'll jump ship. It's getting a little bit too late in the day anyway. Of course. I forgot. I'm talking about the NASDAQ. Give me a big washout or something to sink my teeth into for a quick counter scalp. Looking for a quick counter scalp back to the upside. Not getting that counter scalp, though. There we go. Look for that push back above 11K. Nice push above 11K. See if they can keep driving. We've got all out but one. I want to see them keep going above 11,000. We got 2 minutes left. There we go. That is good enough. Awesome target. Nice push. And that's going to do it. Wrapping up going into the weekend. Very, very nice. Hopefully everyone had a great afternoon of trading. Hopefully everyone had a great day of trading. It's been fantastic price action. I had to eat a little bit of a loss there in that rally higher, but nowhere compared to some of the other trades that fired off, so I'm not going to be upset by that at all. But that'll do it. So this weekend is going to be a big one, right? Obviously, it's Halloween and all the other stuff, but I talked to my my morning live trading room about this as well. Make sure to take some time off, right? Go do something else. Take a mental break. Next week is going to be nuts. And here's an idea for you. While you're out and you're trying to find something to do, check out Extra Life. We have a fundraiser that we do every year with Extra Life, and you can look for that right here. So there's... Oh, no, that's a little too big. Hang on a second. Sorry, I got to fix my link. All right, well, whatever. I'll just do that link. Good enough. So if you're interested in following along with the donation fundraising event that we do every year with Extra Life, we do that every year, and that all goes to a really, really good cause. If you're looking for a great cause to donate over the this Halloween, especially with everything going on, all of it goes to Spectrum Health, Helen DeVos Children's Hospital. They're the ones that helped my son when he was born, so they've got a special place in my heart, that's for sure. But consider donating. Even $5 makes a big difference. But that's going to do it. 4 o'clock on the nose. Enjoy the weekend. Rest up. Have a good one. And we will see you all on Monday, all right? Talk to y'all later. Thanks. Bye.